Hello.
Happy
Tuesday with the Mavens. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it. All right, guys, we are talking all things summer celebrations today. So
sorry, I had to take out my gum.
This is good of you.
Yeah. Just set up my cup.
You know, it's so funny because I guess it's not actually that funny, but a lot of people really struggle when summer comes around and all the celebrations are underway, and there's camping and there's lake days and there's graduations and there's all the things. And it doesn't have to be that hard.
No. In fact, we were talking to our clients earlier today. I think the summer months are some of the easiest months to track and to stay on track if you're on a macro plan. And part of that is because of the abundance of local fruits and vegetables that are in season this time of year. And I don't know, I love eating fresh, good food that is grown locally. And
yeah, me too.
And like if you're camping, if you're backpacking, if you're adventuring, all that stuff, it's really easy to plan ahead. And we'll talk about that as we get going.
You're right. I actually think that it is easier for me in the summer just because you can just kind of throw everything together and stick it in a bag and grab and go, which we'll get more specific about. And we did have some questions come in, one in particular talking about like some easy meals for camping, for backpacking, all those things. And those are things we love to do. Yeah. And so we're actually really excited to talk about it. But
I'm sorry. I'm a little nervous. I don't know. On my screen, which is Facebook, is pretty dark. So if I repost this and it's dark, just real sorry about that.
If anybody over on the Facebook side is able to let us know if they can see us okay. I know you guys, I think, can see us on Instagram. And by the way, we are talking to two cameras at the same time. So if our eyes are fluctuating back and forth, so sorry.
Like a tennis match.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you have questions along the way, anything, even if it's unrelated to the topic, feel free to put them down in the comment section. We'll do our best to answer them. Even if it's after the fact, we'll always come back around. So we love getting to do these, you guys. It's so fun. We love the engagement. We love the questions that come in ahead of time. And we love that you guys join us. So
yeah. Ooh, my head's getting hot.
I know, we're like right in the direct sun too. So if we start sweating, it's not that warm out, but in the direct sun, it's like really warm.
Well, I think that's why my screen is so dark, is because the sun is shining like right onto my screen.
Got it.
Anyway.
Okay.
Sorry, Facebook and YouTube, I guess, for that matter. If it is bad, then sorry.
Okay, guys. So first and foremost, we do have people ask, like, gosh, is coming into summer, is it an okay time to start a plan? Like, the answer is always yes. Like if you are at a place in your life where you are ready to start making a change, you're ready to make a commitment, you feel like you can commit to being consistent, and that's oftentimes where the accountability of a coach comes in. Like, do it then. Don't wait. Don't wait until you get X, Y, and Z. Don't wait until, like, do it.
Don't wait till tomorrow. Like, today is the day. Like, if you're going to change your life, why wait? Like, think about how far you could be in 3 months if you started today, instead of being 3 months from now and being like, man, I wish I would have started that June 1st or July 31st or May 31st. It's May, not July.
Please don't let it be July.
No, it's not. No.
And really, like, it's crazy how every single day that you start to make better decisions, regardless of what it is. Like, of course, we talk about health a lot, and we think that that's foundationally going to set you up for, like, such a better life. But whether it's relationships, finance, health, anything, like, every step you take to try to start creating healthy habits are going to have tenfold production in your future. Yeah. And so don't be afraid to jump in. Like, don't be afraid to do anything you have a desire to do. Like, it's like time is of the essence. And I think that we're continually reminded that. And if we can be a better version of ourselves for ourselves and for the people that we love, like, why not do it?
Yeah.
And so whether it's us or it's another coach in whatever realm, like, coaches have even coaches need coaches. Like, coaches have the capacity to give you a sense of accountability and continued education, and to maybe see things outside of yourself that can make a profound difference in your outcomes. So if you are interested specifically in Macro Mavens, we would love to answer any of your questions. We're always accepting new clients. We have an incredible group of coaches. You can head over to macromavens.life, click hop on board. It doesn't commit you to anything, but it lets us answer your questions, see if we're a good fit, see if we can help you, and go from there.
Yeah. Great.
So, yeah.
So let's get into it. Let's talk about what are some ways that you can set yourself up for success for the summer season. That's a lot of sisses. There's a lot of celebrations in the summer season.
Yes, there are.
And we want you to find lots of success while you celebrate
in the summer.
Okay.
So, honestly, a lot of the basics that we talk about are going to be the underlying principles. And I think that it's worth going back through those basics. But I think the biggest number one thing that you can do, whether you are going to a party, going to the lake, going camping, going backpacking, like whatever it's going to be, is just simply having a plan.
Yeah.
And like, what is that saying? If you fail,
fail to plan, plan to fail.
Yeah, and it's so true. And oftentimes taking literally 5 minutes, sometimes more, depending realistically, to put a plan in place actually makes you more efficient with your time in the long run. Like, I have found that that's been one of the most freeing things for me in my macro journey, which is a weird thing to say. It's just the freedom that comes with having a plan.
Yeah.
Like, it takes the guesswork out of things, and it allows me to know I'm going to feel good, to know what I need to have on hand, just to have like back burner things that I can fill with where needed. And it is no different. So let's start with celebrations. We're coming into a big graduation season for a lot of people, lots of parties. I'm going to get lots of advertisements while we're chatting.
She's really popular.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
For advertisements.
Yeah.
And so I think, and I'd love to hear Haley's too, but I think some of the biggest things when you go to celebrate, first of all, it doesn't matter what people think. Like, it doesn't matter what people think. You do you. And I have found over the years, for my clients, for myself, let's say somebody offers you something and you can simply say, no, thank you.
No, thanks.
Most of the time, they're not going to think twice about it. If it's something that you really want and that you've planned for, great, enjoy it. Like, our plan is all about sustainability. So you can fit in those things that you enjoy here and there. Now, if you're eating them every day and they're significantly inflammatory, you're probably not going to have as aggressive results. And that's a whole nother subject. But the biggest thing is have a plan. So plan if it's a potluck, if it's something like, bring what you enjoy, have a feeling for what's there, set yourself up for success so that you can work around it for the day, and simply say, if somebody says like, why aren't you doing that? Or they might know you're doing a macro plan or whatever. And this is true for talking to kids, for anybody, if I simply say, you know, I'm just finding what foods make me feel better. If I stick to, and it shouldn't matter, honestly, you should be able to say whatever you want or say nothing at all. But if I just simply say like, I'm really finding what makes me feel my best, what helps me sleep, what makes my brain feel better, whatever it may be, people are like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. For whatever reason, when it's less focused on the aesthetic changes and that whole like diet mentality, because we don't see macros as a diet. Sure, it is. Anytime you're adhering to a specific nutritional protocol, I think that it can be equated to a diet, but it's really a lifestyle change. It's about sustainability. It's about learning to fuel your body and your brain. So focus on how it makes you feel, and people are so accepting of it.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like the only time, at least in my experience, the only time people ever ask me like, oh, what are you doing, is if I like go to a party and I just fully abstain from eating anything, especially if it's a party that is surrounding food. But just own it. Like, I'm on a health journey and I'm trying to figure out what fuels my body and what makes me feel good. Or like, oh, I'm not eating sugar right now, or I'm not eating gluten right now, or whatever it is for you. I think that those are all, especially in this day and age, like everybody has heard everything. So if you're like, I'm not eating gluten right now, nobody's going to be like, oh, well, that's weird, because it's super normal. Also, like, pre-plan. Like, I have a graduation party. I think I have like 2 or 3 this weekend alone. And I really enjoy celebrating with people. And part of that is enjoying a piece of cake or, you know, maybe a drink or something like that. And I'm just going to pre-plan for it. So even though I don't know exactly what's on the menu or what's going to be there, I can save some carbs or some fats or whatever it is for that evening so that I have a little bit of extra wiggle room, and then I can fill in the gaps as needed. You don't have to be 100% perfect every single day. What you need to be is consistent over time. And so that may look different. If you're going to a graduation party and you're spot on for breakfast and you're spot on for lunch, and then you go to this graduation party and you may have a little bit of flexibility in there, and you may undereat on your protein or you may overeat on your carbs. As long as you're not like completely throwing the baby out with the bathwater, you'll be totally fine. So first thing is don't stress out about it, because that doesn't do anybody any good. And second, just plan for it and own it. If you do go off the rails, just track it. It's not going to kill you. And your coach is
start over the next day.
Yep, you just start fresh the next day. You don't need to try to make up for anything at all. And so just do you.
Yeah, and I think, you guys, the overarching theme is when you step back and you look at, if you are starting to learn truly what is fueling your body. Now, if you're following a macro plan, which we hope that you are, because we feel like it is like
Go get a drink of water.
best case scenario, then you are going to have a plan going into your day. So best case scenario is that you're really trying to focus on less inflammatory foods. Not everybody has to do that, but that is what we suggest. People still have success eating whatever they want if they're hitting their numbers, but that is what we suggest. And so going into that, because it is about sustainability, if you want a treat here and there, if you want a drink here and there, by all means have it. Just pre-track it and work around it, and then you won't feel deprived. You can still celebrate. But I do think there are some real specific things that can be helpful even within that. So one, that when you're going specifically to a celebration, if it's surrounding food, some of the things that are really easy to do is just start your plate with some protein. If you can simply just eyeball what's there, start your plate with some protein. If there is any type of veggies, try to stay away from a lot of mixed things that you might not know what all the ingredients are. If you want to enjoy a piece of cake, a cookie, a drink, whatever it may be. I liked that text.
You guys can't see that, but her husband just sent her a nice text. We'll just leave it at that.
That's the fun about seeing each other's phones like this.
Who's gonna say what to you? I don't get texts like that very often.
Well,
Anyway, sorry, we're not gonna tell you what it was.
okay.
So wait, can we tell a story really quick? Because I think there's some people on here who don't know Byron.
Okay. Oh, where's this
Let's
going?
Well, and I want you to tell it because I think you'll tell the story really good. The tractor story about the gallon of diesel.
Oh, okay.
Story time.
Story time. Okay, so my husband is handsome. I'm just gonna put that out there.
He also, well, no,
No, he's also what?
Well, no, I'll say that later because I don't want to ruin. I don't want to spoil this story.
Okay. So we have a farm. We farm our land, but we farm a lot of other pieces of property around the valley, and the valley that we live in. I sometimes I talk like you're all from here and you're not. So anyways, we need to just be fueling up at home, but right now we're in a situation where he has to drive his tractor down to the fuel up station, otherwise known as a gas station.
Oh my gosh, the fuel up station. That's where he takes his tractor.
Anyways, there was a lady working there, and she had a bet with another person, and she basically said to him, hey, if when you're done fueling up, if you'll take your shirt off, we'll give you a free gallon of diesel. Okay.
What you don't know about her husband, and what these girls obviously didn't know, is it is a rare day in the Higginbotham house where her husband has a shirt on.
He's always shirtless because he
Always.
sweats a lot.
No.
And it's uncomfortable for him.
Like, always.
In his tractor, he usually has a shirt on. He does.
Especially
in town.
I can count how many times I've seen her husband with a shirt on.
So what's hilarious is I put it in my stories, like, hey guys, this happened. Do you think he did it? And literally 99% of people were like, yes, he took his shirt off.
Of course
for
he did.
A free gallon of diesel. And like one of my close friends was like, no way. I was like, do you know him? So anyways, yep, he sure enough got in his tractor, takes his shirt
and was
off.
proud. So proud.
And pulls off and like honks, and the ladies are like, ah! And they gave him cash, like the equivalent of diesel, which I'm like, you do know what that makes you, right? So, anyways,
Side note.
Sorry, but that's
that story is
story.
worth telling multiple times. And you know what? I actually think Byron likes it when we tell that story.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
It just happened recently, so.
I thought you were going to tell another story. We've got
there's lots of stories to tell.
Our husbands are full of.
Maybe on another day we'll tell that story.
Sounds good. Okay, guys. So for those of you guys just joining us, we are talking all about how to either maintain or have continued progress during summer celebrations, lake, camping, backpacking, graduation parties, all the things. So first of all, don't stress. Like, we want this to be about sustainability. We want you to be able to enjoy yourself. If you have some idea as to things that might be important to you to have, like a drink or a piece of cake or whatever it may be, pre-track it, work the rest of your day around it. When you're there, if it's surrounding food, feel free to say no thank you if somebody offers something. It is none of their business. And if you are really working on fueling yourself, Haley always says, and I love this, is the version of me tomorrow going to be thankful I ate this? Is that how you say it?
Sort of. It's like the 24-hour you know,
Yeah.
like in 24 hours from now, are you going to be glad that you made that choice? And so whether it's like, oh, here's a giant piece of cake and I eat it right now, in 24 hours, am I going to be like, dang it, I wish I wouldn't have done that. I totally regret that. Or are you going to be like, yeah, it was totally worth it.
Yeah.
So ask yourself, how am I going to feel about this decision in 24 hours?
We had a big dinner. Big.
Last night.
Last night.
She has a big dinner every night.
I do. I love big dinners. Anyways, we made, I don't know why that's so funny. We made these delicious, huge peanut butter cookies with like roasted peanuts
This
on
is
top
the
of them.
second time she's brought this up
They
in
were
public.
so good. Anyways,
I
it was
wouldn't
totally
know.
worth it.
I wouldn't know.
I was gonna bring some today, but I
No,
didn't think you'd
I'm
want
glad
me
you
to.
didn't.
It was totally worth it, and I can fit it in. Now, if I chose to do that every single day, I would be more inflamed. Low-grade chronic inflammation could lead to disease. Probably wouldn't have as good of a metabolism. All of the things, but you can fit things in.
She wouldn't be able to wear a super tight hot dress.
Oh, whatever. It's like pajamas, okay?
I totally threw you under the bus, teasing you.
I was commenting earlier. I'm like, I don't know, especially sitting. It's probably not very flattering.
No, you look amazing.
Oh, you're
This
kind.
girl's fire.
I'm wearing a tight dress today.
She is, and she looks super hot.
Oh my gosh. So do you. Okay, we're gonna move on. I'm sorry, you guys. It's like a Tuesday and we're off our regular schedule.
And we didn't even write notes today, you guys.
It's the first time I've come to a live without notes. So this is all off the cuff.
She even said, she's like, I think maybe I need to sit down and write something. And I was like, what you
And
gonna
not that
write?
I need it. I just like to like stay on track and wrap it up with a pretty little bow. But we do have a lot of meat coming, so stay tuned,
Yes.
please.
So step one, do not stress about all of the celebrations and things that are happening in the next coming weeks and all summer. Because we have 4th of July thrown in there. You know, there's so many weekends where people are going to the lake, going boating, doing all the adventure things, all the
all the things.
all the things.
Okay,
The
step
summer is
two,
busy.
Step 2 is it's okay to say no thank you. Step 3 is if you want to enjoy something, just pre-track it, work the rest of your day around it. Step 4 is when you are there and you're looking at the options, try to prioritize protein, whatever that may be, and try to stay away from things that have a lot of added ingredients that you might otherwise know. The biggest things, if you can, is just try to stay away from a lot of added sugar and seed oils, honestly. Like those are going to be the most inflammatory thing. The next thing I would suggest, if it's some form of a potluck, bring something you like, preferably some form of protein, because that's usually what there's the least at on a big table. And so if it's something that you can contribute to and then you can bring it, it also makes it easier to track it and to stay on track.
Yeah. And oftentimes when you're going to events like at people's houses that are in the summertime, you can pretty much guarantee there's going to be hot dogs, right? Or sausage or something like that. And if you don't pre-plan for that, you know, one hot dog can derail your program. So just make sure that you plan for it. You know, maybe you even pre-track a hot dog in there if you enjoy eating a hot dog. Or you take something like Emmy said that you know will fit within your macros, and then that's super easy.
And then the same thing with alcohol. If you plan to drink, like just plan for it, because we have our clients track alcohol as fat because of how your body processes it. And so you take the total calories of the drink, divide it by 9. That's how many grams of fat that you put in. It automatically calculates your calories. And there's a reason for that. That specificity is really important when we're retraining the metabolism. And so when you're going, there are options that are going to be kinder to you if you enjoy them. Of course, if you're going to have a drink, you're going to want to enjoy the drink you have. But one thing that can, one go-to drink for a lot of our clients is like vodka, soda water, a splash of lime or lemon, or some bitters. And so that's a really...
Sorry, I looked at you because I was curious as to what you were going to say.
I don't drink.
I referenced a Coors Light earlier today, which is like...
Coors Light?
Yeah. You will
no
never...
Judgment, no judgment.
No, but you will never see me drink a Coors Light. I dislike beer.
But she used that as her example.
Yeah, I know. It's because I think a lot of people drink Coors Light in the summertime. I picture a lot of people drinking Coors Light in the summer at activities.
Yeah, no,
maybe a
for
Corona.
Sure. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't
yeah.
drink beer.
Regardless, if you can mix something with something like soda water and a splash of lime or lemon, it can go. It will not be as big of a hit from a caloric standpoint. And so Rachel's just laughing. We're kind of all over the place.
Also,
Okay.
hydrate.
Yes.
If you are going to imbibe
Imbibe.
Imbibe. If you're going to drink alcohol, or regardless of what you're doing, you need to stay hydrated this summer. It is really easy to get dehydrated. We tell our clients to shoot for at least minimum half of your body weight in ounces of water every single day. If you can increase that to 128 ounces of water, which is at 1 gallon, that's ideal. Especially in these summer months, we don't realize how much we're sweating and how much water we're actually losing. Our bodies need it.
They do. And even in the summer, because we've talked about electrolytes a lot in the past, if you are working out hard in a day, like really strenuously for an hour or more, or you're excessively sweating, and or you have like consistent low level steady state throughout the day, like walking a lot, hiking a lot, whatever it may be, really consider an electrolyte, especially one that's going to have magnesium, sodium, and potassium in it. My favorite is Element, LMNT. A lot of people really like Ultimate also. So there's a lot of good ones out there, but just make sure you're not getting something that's just straight sugar.
Yeah, the Element one actually has no sugar in it. It's great.
Yeah,
it's salty.
It is salty.
But
Salty.
it's delicious. Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about planning for something like camping. I actually find, whether I am RVing, tent camping,
Camping.
backpacking.
It's easier. I think it's easier.
Is.
Because you plan ahead for those things. If you're going camping,
Yeah.
at least
You
for
only
me,
have what you have.
Yeah, I am not a huge planner when it comes to things. I like to be spontaneous. I like to eat what's available, all of those things. However, when I go camping, I know, like, okay, tonight we're going to eat this for dinner, and tomorrow night we're going to eat this for dinner, because you only have so much space, and you don't want to have to just pick and choose. So then it makes it really easy to track that food because you already know what you're going to eat. So I don't know. I think it's easier.
Let's break it down. So when we go in our RV, it's different than when I'm like
When you go
camping. And so in our RV, I actually have an old highlight. If you guys are interested in it, I did a whole overview on how I prep for RVing. And I like to actually, like, I'll have a ton of meat that's marinated. I have some in my freezer. I have some in my fridge. I have soups that I individually make and freeze in like little individual Ziploc baggies. Like to get away from plastic, but it makes it super simple, that you can just pull out and heat up really easy. I always have like pre-cut veggies and fruits in there. I just like it to be really simple, and honestly, you only have what you have accessible to you, so it's super easy to stay on track.
Yeah.
I actually would like to do that same thing when I'm at home, and I don't to the same degree.
No.
Backpacking is even easier.
Even simpler.
I literally have one Ziploc bag per day, and I stick all my food in there. That's for that day, that's been pre-tracked, and it's gonna have, for me, I don't like a lot of the pre-made meals.
Jennifer would like the info.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. And so I'll try to pull that highlight back up and put it in there. For backpacking, I don't like a lot of the pre-made meals. I will do maybe one in the evening. But
she doesn't.
I don't love them. I just don't. And so what I try to do, I'll bring smoked salmon, which is usually only good for like the first 2 days, unless I have good access to cold water or like a snowdrift. And then you can kind of stick it in there. I bring jerky. I'll bring some dried fruit. I'll bring some nuts. I'll bring like just a handful of things. But like I love jerky and salmon. And so I kind of live off of it when I'm backpacking. You like the meals.
Well, and I like certain ones. I like the Peak. I think it's Peak Performance.
Yeah.
It's Peak is the brand. Yeah. They're high in protein, especially if you eat the whole package. It's like a full meal. And one thing that is a little bit more difficult is you will have to add a few extra carbs in there because they are a little bit carb heavy, but they're also, if you choose wisely, you can get ones that are really high in protein, and I don't mind them at all. In fact, I kind of think that's part of the fun of camping is eating food that I don't ever eat.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
There's a few that I don't mind, and I'm trying to branch out a little bit.
And I do eat like jerky and nuts and those types of things. I'll throw a bar in there for lunch.
Yeah.
But honestly, and I eat this every single day in the morning anyway. I do an egg scramble with eggs and veggies, and then some whatever kind of meat we have on hand. And I know Emmy has a really hard time with eggs. A lot of people do.
I'll eat them. I just like them like leather.
Well, no, I mean like dried eggs. Like Emmy cannot do the scramble. She's gonna throw up right now. The scramble, like the Peak scramble, is actually really delicious.
Wet eggs, you guys.
Well, I mean, it's not like that.
To each their own.
Yeah, and I like a runny yolk.
So there.
I have to eat it by myself because my family doesn't like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you get food shamed at home for anything? Probably not.
I don't, but
I get food shamed for my eggs in the
Runny
morning.
eggs?
Yeah,
I
in fact,
would-
I don't even let my family see me eat them. I like go into the like a little
I
hidey
would
hole.
food shame you for that.
I know you do. She does. She actually does.
Anytime she eats like a condiment, beans,
She doesn't like ketchup.
or runny eggs, it's like, I'm sorry, guys, you're getting way more than you probably want today.
You're just getting the real. This is what happens when she doesn't have notes to keep us on track. You get to come with me. This is where my brain goes.
Okay, so far, you guys, you can absolutely not only stay on track, not only maintain, but have success throughout the summer.
Yes.
It actually can be pretty easy. It's hot. We're moving our bodies more. We're sweating more. Hopefully, we're drinking more water. We have the sunshine on our skin. We're hopefully sleeping better at night. And we can take advantage, like Haley said, of local produce. Like, regardless of where you're at, there is probably some form of CSA, which they'll deliver to your home. If you're here local to Southern Oregon, I love Fry Family Farm. You can pop in or sign up for their CSA. You're going to get a beautiful variety of local fruits, local vegetables. If you want, you can add on grass-fed meats. You can add on wild-caught fish. You can add on any of like their soups or anything like that. It's such a fantastic way to eat the bounty of where you live, which is how we were designed to live.
Yeah. Thursdays, down at Hawthorne Park is Growers Market. So tons of different farms and different vendors are down there selling what they grow on their farm, from their land, local to Southern Oregon. And so support your local farmers. It's really important to do that. And you're eating good food. So it's a win-win.
Yeah. Okay, we had somebody write in fact, I think it was Joy, that asked, what are some specific go-to meals for camping? And so I'd love to talk about that because there's some really easy ways that you can set yourself up. Now, for me, it would be a little bit determined on if we were RV camping, if we were tent camping, or if we were backpacking. And we've already talked about that a little bit. Let's take the backpacking out because we've talked about that. And the other, whether it's RV and or tent camping, can be a little bit closer to each other. I honestly think it's just simple prep. If you have a fridge, it's going to be a little bit different than if you just have a cooler. But some really easy things to throw in tinfoil are like chicken and veggies that you can put over a campfire. Like, it's so simple and it's so delicious.
Honestly, like if you go to Pinterest and you type in like campfire dinners, there are a million different options of little tinfoil dinners. You can like throw a steak and potatoes in there. You can do corn on the grill. You can do so much on a campfire. Also, if you have a Dutch oven, you know, those giant, they weigh like 1,000 pounds and they have a lid and you cook them in the ground with coals and stuff. Those are super, super fun. And you can get really creative and make tons of stuff like that you normally, like, it's basically like having an oven, even though you're camping, whether that's in a tent or in an RV. I was gonna say, because tent camping is so much different for us than RV camping.
Yeah.
It's like almost completely different.
It's almost like treating it like backpacking.
Yeah, like when I'm RV camping, it's just like being at home, only I'm way more organized.
Yeah.
When I'm tent camping, there's a lot more freedoms, and so a lot of people think that like, oh, I'm going camping, I can't follow my plan, and like we said earlier, it's actually easier. So just plan on whatever you're going to eat, whether it's chicken and veggies, or we took a camping trip with a bunch of friends and we did amazing carne asada tacos one night. Do you remember that?
So good. I thought you were going to make fun of my Instant Pot.
No, I don't make fun of
Do you remember when we went to Heart Mountain the first time and I brought an Instant Pot?
Oh, yeah.
You guys made so much fun of me. I brought a huge Instant Pot in our camper of I think that it was buffalo. It was beanless buffalo chili, and it was so good. And they're like, delicious. "You brought an Instant Pot."
I was like, "You brought an Instant Pot? What are you gonna do with that?" Anyway, take an Instant Pot. If you have an RV and you can power it, you might as well. But if you're gonna have like, if you feel like, I kind of get like this. I get a little bit grumpy if I don't feel like I can partake in the fun things that my family's doing. So let's say they're gonna have s'mores one night. It would not be fun for me to be like, I can't have a s'more.
Yeah,
So just plan
have a
it.
s'more.
Have a s'more.
Yeah.
You know, just track it and then move on. Don't food shame yourself. Food shaming is real and it's dangerous and it is not healthy. So
Now,
don't do it.
I would say on the other side of that, like if you were partaking in a s'more every single night, that's probably going to create some inflammation. It is.
Just
gonna
be aware.
create
It's
some-
going to.
Just be
Yeah.
aware. And so, but occasionally fitting something in that you enjoy, especially if it helps you not have that fear of deprivation or whatever it may be, can be huge. And then what Haley was saying, like the tinfoil meals, there are so many out there,
There's
and
a
they're
million.
so easy to pre-track. And you can even I just take a Sharpie and I'll write on there, if I haven't already put it in there, exactly what it is, because then you just throw it in whenever you're going to have it.
Yep.
One thing I also really like, and my kids like this too, is I'll take, whether it be chicken or some type of a leaner beef that's like really tender and super thin, tenderized, that's what that is.
I was wondering.
And super thin, and I'll throw them in a marinade, and then we take the big bamboo sticks, or you can take like hot dog sticks or marshmallow sticks, whatever they are, and you skewer them. Because I like the skewer to go through the meat, you know, and so that it's nice and flat. And then you roast it over the fire, and it's delicious. Like,
or
it's
you can
so
take
good.
the toaster ones, you know, the little clampers.
Oh yeah,
And do it that way too.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're very animated today. Okay, so far, for those of you guys just joining us, we're just talking about staying on track or having continued progress throughout the summer. And you guys, like, it does not have to be that hard.
No,
So,
don't make it hard. It really is simple.
sticking to the basics of making sure you're staying hydrated, making sure you're prioritizing sleep, making sure you have access and easy grab and go, healthy, nutritious foods that are going to help you meet your targets, because that's where the magic really happens in retraining your metabolism. And I think we'll talk about that here in just a second, because we keep saying that, and some of you might not know what we're referring to when we say that. Going into parties with a plan, pre-tracking the goodies that you want, being comfortable saying no thank you to things, taking what you want to enjoy, making sure you're prioritizing protein on your plate, going into backpacking with having good, easy things on hand. You've pre-tracked, your whole day is in a bag. It makes it super simple. Going into camping with easy things, marinated, separated out. If you have a fridge freezer because you're RV camping, it's super simple. If you're tent camping, you can do similar things. If you have a cooler, just make it simple and make it fun.
Yeah.
Have the treats if you want them, not every day, but fit them in, work around them. Like it is totally doable.
Yep. And sustainable.
Yeah.
We want it to be sustainable. I mean, if you're living a lifestyle that's not sustainable, then what are you doing?
You're going to backtrack. And
Yeah.
that's the thing that we absolutely love.
Or you're gonna burn out.
Yeah. Well, you're going to burn out, and then I feel like when people go and they are like balls to the walls committing to something and they're trying to change a million things at once. Oftentimes they're going to have success for a little bit, and then they tire of it.
Yeah.
And then they start
Falling back,
backsliding
yeah.
because it's not sustainable. Like, we have so many people that come to us that have tried all the things, keto being a big one. And
We have a lot of former keto clients.
we do. And any one thing.
Oh no, that was me.
Oh.
Been there, done that. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any one thing that you do for any season of time, if you are consistent, you will likely yield results.
Mm-hmm.
That said, most things over time, unless you can consistently change it and truly change your metabolic threshold, you are going to get to a point where you're either going to plateau or you're going to burn out. And what we really want to do, and this is what we keep referring to, is retraining the metabolism depending on your goals. Some people actually come to us as hypermetabolizers, so that's not who we're talking about right now. Most people come to us with a sluggish metabolism because they have either been inconsistently eating, not knowing how to appropriately fuel their body and their brain, oftentimes under-eating for so long that they've had metabolic adaptation and their metabolism just literally isn't working against them no matter what they do. And so if we can get that metabolism to rev, and we can get our clients to consistently start eating and fueling for their body and their brain's needs, and we can slowly and methodically increase that calorie intake, shifting those macros, getting that metabolism to understand what's coming and going, and then have the metabolism rev more and more and more. Now you're eating more food. You have this high firing metabolism. Then and only then can we responsibly use a short-term deficit or cut if you need it for your goals so that you have a high-firing metabolism? Now you're giving it less, your body's attacking your fat. Then we can responsibly climb you back up. We can repeat that. But now you have this high-firing metabolism. You're eating more food, which gives you more flexibility,
more energy,
better brain power, better sleep, better hormones. All the things, like, we hear it time and time again, like, how can I eat more and lose? And we see it because your metabolism starts working in your favor. And then you don't feel deprived because you can fit the things in. Now, our goal is that you also learn to incorporate less inflammatory foods into your nutritional protocol so that you have more longevity and you're really working towards total body health, which is kind of the underlying education.
Yep.
But it is doable. It's amazing.
And it's freeing.
So
many of our clients are like, oh my gosh, why haven't I done this? Why didn't I start this years ago? Because it's so freeing, especially for our wonderful people who undereat. You know, and I think that especially in Western culture, we push this less is more, less is more, less is more. And eventually our bodies are like, hold up, like we need some food. And so that's what we're here to do. We want to give you guys the food and the education so that you can fuel your body, so that you feel your best to be the best version of yourself for those that you love, and especially for yourself.
It's so true, you guys. And when you undereat, like, a lot of people will say, well, you know, gosh, calories in, calories out. I've only been eating this, or I eat pretty clean, but they'll undereat. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometimes Friday. And then the weekend comes around and they binge, whether they associate it with binging or not. They're drinking more, they're having, more party foods, they're eating this, they're eating that. Their body's used to this low threshold of calories, and then all of a sudden it gets a spike. Well, their body's in preservation mode because it's been in starvation mode, because it's not getting a lot throughout the week. So it's not going to know what to do with those extra calories on the weekend. So what does it do? It stores them as fat.
Storage.
And then they go back to under eating throughout the week. So if you can get your body responsibly, slowly, methodically, strategically to increase that metabolic threshold, then you're in a place where you can eat more, you can enjoy it, you can fit more things in, you can have a more flexible metabolism, and you can have a leaner body mass, better body composition, and all the rest of your body is going to thank you, because now you're going to have hormone harmony, because it's that whole, we talk about it a lot, and this is where we start getting like super duper passionate, because
look out.
I mean, really, because it is, you guys, like, it's, now that we like truly understand it and see it time and time again, we want to scream it from the rooftops. Whether you work with us or not, like, there is a better way to live. Like, you can have your cake and eat it too. You can understand how food literally can be medicine or poison. Like, you truly can. You can understand that you don't have to have food shame. Like, you use it as a tool. You understand that you can fit things in where you need to, and then you have this whole, you have your immune system, you have your endocrine system, you have your nervous system. Yeah, your digestive system, your, hormone harmony, your cognition, all of that. It is all intertwined. And when you start consistently fueling your body and giving it the nutrients that it needs and the appropriate amounts of protein, carbohydrates, and fats for your bio-individuality, for your brain health, for your sleep needs, for your movement needs, like, it is magic.
I was sitting here thinking, like, she could just keep on going, and she's going, and she's fired up, and she's feeling the passion, and she just,
I love it.
Yeah. So anyway, if you're looking for a nutrition coach, we would love to work with you.
Really, and
but it's so true. It really, it honestly is true. And we have our clients say all the time, my favorite one is, what kind of sorcery is this? Like, they come in under eating, and then we start increasing their calories over time. And before you know it, they're eating several hundred calories more than when they started. Oftentimes,
1,000 sometimes.
Yeah, oftentimes they are losing weight while eating more, and they're like, what in the world is this crazy sorcery?
Yeah.
And it's not sorcery, it's science. And it is incredible when you give your body the fuel that it needs and wants, what your body then does for you.
It's how we were designed, and not everybody needs the same thing. We all have different protein thresholds. We all have different, hormone makeups. We all have different nervous systems. Like, what's good for me might not be good for Haley, and vice versa. But the science of it is amazing.
It is.
And we often have things so backwards, you guys. Like, and I won't even get into this rabbit hole, but I've worked in healthcare for a really long time, natural healthcare even. And you guys, it's just such a broken system. There's some fantastic medical providers out there that are trying so hard to have the time to educate and to reduce and to eliminate medication and all of the things. But you guys, it is such a broken system. And if we could simply step back and truly understand and educate our society on the power of food and nutrition, it would dramatically shift the landscape of health in our country.
Yeah.
It would allow our kids to be functioning better, to be less depressed, to be more active, to be more engaged. It would allow adults to have healthier, happier, more engaged, longer lives. Like, we need it.
Well, and if you think about it too, we've gone down this rabbit hole. This is not part of what we were planning on talking about. But if you think about like I'm not gonna, there's certain places I'm not gonna go. You are in control of
Go there.
No, I'm not. You are in control of what you put in your mouth, right? Like what you eat and what you drink is 100% under your control if you are an adult. If you're a child and your parents are feeding you, that's different. But we are in control of what we put in our bodies for the most part. And that is the very foundation of our bodies, right? Mm-hmm. What we put in is what's going to fuel our insides. Makeup. It's our cellular makeup. It is what keeps us going. And so if something in your body is not working right, the very first thing you need to do is evaluate what you're putting in your body. Yeah. Because oftentimes we can control how our bodies react, how we feel. Different systems in our bodies react differently to different things. But if you really look at what you're eating and you sit down and you keep a diary or you track your food, then oftentimes you can figure out this problem is happening because I am eating this and my body doesn't like it. And so it's just don't overcomplicate it. It really is simple. Nutrition is medicine, and nutrition can also be poison.
It is. And so talking about simplicity, whether it's summer or any time of the year, really, you guys, like having gratitude, because that's so important, getting sunshine on your skin, staying hydrated, moving your body, prioritizing sleep, and really looking at how you can fuel your body and your brain. The simplest way to do that is foods from the ground, foods that walk around, foods from the sea,
and foods that fly.
Yeah. And really, it's staying in the perimeter of the grocery store. It's whole foods. It is as unadulterated as possible. And there's a time and a place to fit a bar or shake in if you're in a pinch, whatever it may be. There's a time and a place to fit a treat in because you enjoy it and you want to celebrate. Like, great. We want sustainability. We do it ourselves. Yeah. But if you can really look at food as a tool, it starts to shift your relationship with it. It starts to shift how you feel. And this whole world opens up. And I know we're like on a soapbox right now. Like, we are fully on a soapbox. Come on, Haley, go there, she says.
I really do my darndest to not get political on here, so I'm just going to smile.
But when she does, it's so fun. Because she's got a fire.
I have opinions.
Yeah, she's got it, and she's fiery, and I like it. She's spicy.
Sometimes I can be spicy.
So, well, we've had a lot of story time today. Yeah. I was going to say...
Were you going to tell a story?
Well, I was just going to say, so I don't know if you guys follow Enneagrams. I don't that much, but Haley does, and she's a 7, and I'm a tie for a 7 and a 3. She used to think I was more of a 7, now she thinks I'm more of a 3.
She's 100% 3.
I'm like a full-on tie. Anyways, her husband's been giving her a hard time that she's been showing her 8-wing more, which is like real spicy.
A little bit. Well, AK knows what I'm talking about. She's an 8. So they like the confrontation. I do enjoy some confrontation sometimes. The Challenger, it's called. But I am full on a 7 with an 8-wing, if you know what that means. I am very enthusiastic and a little bit contentious. In other words, I'm a spicy, happy person.
What has shifted me from a 7 to a 3?
Oh, I work with her on a daily basis, and this girl is a 3. She is the achiever. The achiever. That's why I often am apologizing.
Can I be a fun achiever?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. For sure, 100. Oh, AK's an 8 with a 7!
Oh, that's so
and
funny.
I'm a 7 with an 8,
I
so
love
that's
it.
fun.
Oh, okay, guys. So we're going to wrap this up with a pretty little bow.
Wait, if you're into the Enneagram, drop us a comment and tell us what you are, because we would love to know. I think actually that would be a great question in our check-ins. I would love to know what my clients are.
Oh, I don't know enough about it to like have that hold enough meat. I should know enough about it. She tells me things all the time.
I do. I'm like, oh my gosh. Could you stop? No. Could you be more like this number? Could you be...
Pretty much.
No.
No,
I love you.
Oh,
and
I love you
oh.
Okay, you guys.
We gotta go.
We do. Okay, so summer success. Now is the time to start anything in life that you are looking to try to change. You do not have to wait. Why wait?
Why wait?
Whatever it is. Honestly, you can start feeling better today, tomorrow. We just had one of our clients post in her stories.
Oh my gosh.
I think it was only 20 days.
Yeah.
A 20-day difference. And it is just amazing what can happen in such a short time. Does that happen for everybody? No, but change absolutely does if you're consistent. Yeah. It is all about consistency. And honestly, yes, most people come to us for aesthetics, but the other things that come along are just mind-blowing. Like, really, it's so fun. It's so fun to get to be a part of.
Man, it is the best.
We're like obsessed.
Yeah, we are obsessed with what we do. It's so
Yeah.
cool. And if you're not a part of it, you're missing out. Come join us.
I tell ya. But summer success, whether you're following macros or not, you guys, keeping your health a priority all times of the year is so important.
Yeah.
Making sure that you really are setting yourself up for success with having a plan, prioritizing your sleep, staying hydrated, moving your body, however that looks for you. Nutrition, nutrition, nutrition. And it really is getting back to basics. The golden standard in our book is like really understanding macros, going through a reverse and a cut, and or reversing again, really getting your metabolism to work for you.
Yep.
And outside of that, like, have a plan. Do some prepping, have a plan, set yourself up for success, bring what you want, share with your friends, set an example. It doesn't have to be hard.
No shame. Enjoy the cookie if you're going to eat the cookie. Don't eat it in the closet.
I enjoyed my cookie last night.
And I will I'm going to a lot of graduation parties, so
I am too.
I'm going to enjoy myself as well.
Yeah.
So with that, if you are curious about macro coaching, if you would like to be coached by somebody on the Macro Mavens team, feel free to go to macromavens.life, click the hop on board button. It doesn't commit you to anything. It just starts a conversation. We would love to have you as part of our family. We have a good time. You can just ask our clients who are in the comments. What else?
We have some really exciting things coming up.
Yes.
We are going to do a little bit of a summer special.
Summer special. But
So
nobody knows yet.
So
Nobody is.
keep your eyes open for that.
Coming real soon.
We've also teased about a really fun, incredible movement fitness coach that we have joining our team.
Yes.
So more information is coming on that. We're constantly creating new tools, new education. A lot of it is only for our clients, but a lot of it is free. So if you want to go check out the resources on our website, macromavens.life, you click on the toolbox and there's tons of info there.
And if you're jealous because our clients get so much cool stuff, then maybe you should sign up.
We have some really fun educational platforms coming. We honestly, we want to look at the whole person. We want to make it simple. We want to make it easy.
And we want to make it fun.
We want to make it fun.
Yeah.
Our motto is feel good,
Look good, do good. Because when you feel good, you automatically look good. And when you feel good and you look good, then you just want to be a better person for those around you.
So true.
Anyway, have a great Tuesday. Have a great rest of your week. We'll be back at you next Monday.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
Next
As far as I
Monday.
know, next Monday will be Monday with the Mavens, and we will catch you guys then. Have a great week.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.